years and 2 months ago, I experienced a life-changing event. Something that I'd loved doing since I was a youngster in my backyard suddenly came to an end when I lost my last collegiate basketball game. I vividly remember taking off that jersey for what was the last time and quickly using it to muffle my cries and wipe away the tears. I knew there would be no one shining moment, no climbing the ladder to cutting down the nets, no magical happy ending to a game in a sport that I had trained so intently for. After 6 years of coaching collegiately, I decided to take what I called a basketball sabbatical. I wanted to become a better teacher of the game, help young women become better versions of themselves, help them reach their goals, and maybe one day cut down the nets. So I immersed myself in everything basketball. For 12 months, I attended many and numerous college and high school basketball practices. I picked the brains of some of the best college and high school basketball coaches I knew and read numerous leadership books. During those 12 months, two primary themes came to surface. One, great coaches gave 10% more to their trade than good coaches, and two, great coaches served their team. The team didn't serve them. In Malcolm Gladwell's best-selling book, The Tipping Point, he gives numerous examples of how little things can make a big difference. Successful coaches, I learned during my sabbatical, were not radically different. They did the little things. They developed habits, which fed their culture, which created the tipping point to their success. Mike Neighbors isn't a radically different coach, but he wanted to become a better teacher as well. So he started collaborating with other coaches. He spends 30 minutes a week, less than 5 minutes a day, putting together an email that contains clinic notes, NBA and college diagram plays, new drills, new ideas for developing team chemistry, and sends this out to other coaches. Those coaches then ask to be added to the distribution list, and that distribution list now stands at 70,000 people, reaching 45 different countries. So I wasn't surprised when Mike Neighbors took his University of Washington Huskies to the Final Four for the first time this year in only his third year as a college basketball coach. After 6 years of coaching at Norman High School in Norman, Oklahoma, Sherry Cole took over the University of Oklahoma women's basketball program in 1996. Only a few years prior, the university had cut the program, but everything changed when Coach Cole stepped on campus. Coach Cole, I've heard her speak a number of times at different clinics, and why the content changes, one thing remains, and that is an attitude for gratitude that she talks about. You see, Coach Cole spends 10 minutes every day writing thank you notes, sometimes to people within her community, sometimes people outside the community. She does this to help show gratitude to others. The one that I remember the most is when she was on an away trip, and she took notice of how meticulously clean her hotel room was. So she took notice of the tent card next to the bed that you see, giving the name of the person that had cleaned her room. She immediately wrote a thank you note personalized to that individual. Coach Cole's attention to detail, her attitude for gratitude, is synonymous with her winning. Oklahoma women's basketball just made their 17th straight trip to the NCAA tournament. For us, it's a little bit more time in the film room. I want to know our opponents so well that if the opponent's coach was sick, I could coach their team as well as ours. Our team fuels their culture of family. We introduced them to the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. And Jim has one of the best opening sentences of any leadership book I've probably read when he says, "Good is the enemy of great." Our players understand that individually they are good, but they can only become great whenever they collectively come together. So does sending an email a week or writing a thank you note a day guarantee success for your organization? Was watching a few extra minutes of film the tipping point to our success of winning 5 state championships in 9 years? I have absolutely no idea. If I did, I would be on the top of the bestseller list, and I would be sitting on the white sands of Bora Bora with an umbrella drink in my hand right now on my new income. I don't know the exact tipping point, but I do know, like Coach Neighbors, Coach Cole, and our staff and players, we committed to giving 1% more every single day to making us and the people around us better versions of ourselves. Someone once said, to get what we've never had, we must do what we've never done. That comes true in anything that we want to put our mind to. One thing that I noticed with Les Beauchart, he gave a few more minutes to his day as well. And thankfully for us, maybe your kids this morning and eating breakfast, he did that. You see, Les was working on a machine in 1941 with his colleagues, and they were having trouble getting the machine to puff cereal to work. So Les's boss put an end to the project, said it wasn't working, but Les refused to give up. He decided to give a few more minutes each day to the project. And after only 2 months, he had the Cheerios machine up and running for the very first time. Like Les, you might not know how close you are to success. Let's do a quick math thing first. Let's say in a 24-hour day, you work 8 hours, you sleep 8 hours, so you have 8 hours left over. I know everybody's pulling out your pens trying to find out where you can find that life. I have a 3-month-old at home, so I know it's a pipe dream. But let's say that it happens. You have 480 minutes, so 1% of 480, 4.8 minutes. What could you do to positively move your organization or team ahead if you gave them only 4.8 more minutes a day? Like Les, you might not know how close you are. You might just be 1 degree or 1% away. At 211 degrees, water is hot, but at 212, it boils. You might be just 1% away. So I ask you, what's your 1%?